accounting class. That's what it is.
Bro
Just know how accounting works.
Bro just thinks he knows everything about my family.
I know who Daniel means.
Bro,
Anytime I'm with y'all too, bro, the banter. It's always with y'all.
It's always him. It's always him. Bro, started it. Bro said he was going to respond. Bro didn't respond. I just commented. No, bro didn't respond. Bro wrote a whole manuscript. Bro wrote a whole manuscript.
Bro, I'll put a comment on his Instagram.
No, but Daniel, that is on his Instagram.
I know Daniel put the comments on there. Like, saying,
Bro, did he not say that respond? They're like in the like they're FOBH. No, they're like in the white.
No, but you think it's
I can just imagine.
That's like everywhere.
Every school has that.
He's not. What is bro?
Oh my! You didn't have that.
Did you have
And then you run. Every school has it. Just tears.
Yeah, they are too power. Because they're having some rich kids. They were just.
Not like that.
I don't know, that project. Like Saturday, I spent like an hour and a half on it, and I got nowhere, and I just quit. And then I woke up Sunday morning, like with the wheels.
They went to India.
I just quit for the day. My brain was.
This is the one that you do. This is cool.
So.
The neck break is wild. That was the biggest neck break. I want you to realize. Because bro shifted his whole body.
No,
that was a body break.
I shifted it because I was looking at you from this angle. You
I
couldn't
could
tell.
see you. I could tell. I just chose to disregard. I chose to disregard. That's a new one. Body break.
There's tears. Neck break is
Bro is just stealing my vernacular, bro.
Oh, let me guess what he does.
He's down.
We'll ask in a second.
Bro, I'm downloading, but I gotta delete it, bro. It's freaking.
How do you update stuff on
freaking
your
corrupted file.
It's actually dash U. That's how you do it, bro. You're dash Uing right now,
There
bro.
was a lot of crap it spit out that wasn't usable.
Oh, no,
But I just like copied and pasted the whole file. It's like it's a supporting file.
Okay.
To submit on.
That's cool.
Term at 6.
So I'm gonna make an announcement.
And then they just adopt two infant Indians for security matter. Really, they just surveillance.
A lot of like.
Ever a great
I don't know why that is. Like Steve Jobs.
I know. It's like all the celebrities.
Yeah,
And
like
like
Miss
society
Alex
stuff.
does.
I mean, I guess it's good. Better than what they were.
My
No,
culture
those
is
kids
not
are definitely going to be like.
It's probably better. I mean, it's probably better than how they were when they were over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll take my W. I'll take my W.
Because you know that place where Jerry's working now? From what I know, Isaac and his father owns it, like the entire company. So those little Indian kids are million right now.
Which ones are you jumping?
Like, they're gonna be shit.
Yeah, I haven't really
That's where I know Isaac even said some wild stuff like years later. He's like, yeah, he's like, they just hear. I don't know why.
I'm gonna take something else as a note.
That's crazy.
depending on what.
That's actually good.
The thing is, his parents are just that type. I guess when people are millionaires, they're just like,
For one of those Reddit threads, I saw one about this guy. His family owned like a farm. He would adopt like people from China, like and then have them here, right? And then hold their passports hostage. It just made them work, bro. It was like a Reddit story.
No, you can't trust those, bro. Bro's like.
I don't know, dude. Some of them are kind of accurate.
Are you talking about the part one?
All right, everyone. Let's settle down now. Let's be quiet enough we can listen for that critter up there. All right, so what'd you guys think about the assignment?
It was too hard.
Too hard? Okay.
Like it was low key borderline impossible, but yeah.
It was very challenging.
Very,
It's a
very
tough
hard.
one. If you haven't done IO before, it can certainly be a little challenging, right? How many of you think that you actually have a really good solution now, and you're happy?
Good or really good?
Yeah. How many of you think you have a good solution that gets the job done, and you're happy with it? Raise your hand.
I'm
I'm
not
not even
happy.
sure mine gets the job done because I haven't.
I'm not happy. I actually put notes in there like
Mine's just an input.
I'm
not gonna finish it. No, none of ours is.
Try your input again. Mine,
Of course. There's no way mine would approve.
Is there anybody that would be willing to share what they've got?
I'll share what I get.
All right. Can you let me hit default routing?
Start taking notes.
Actually, why is instructor PC doing everything?
I wrote all of mine, but I still don't even know if it works because I didn't bother digging through and catting a file because he gave me the big brain.
Yeah, connect to pod 5, and then I will last pod 5 on the class.
Share, what's the application again?
Share link? Share link Pro.
Here's the other thing too. If you tried it multiple times,
Because I watched the video.
I had to go delete it every single time I wanted to test it. Otherwise, you're gonna. My script's not much script anymor, GJ. Is that okay?
What do you mean not much script?
It's mostly like C at this point. I couldn't figure out how to get it done.
Mine was doing
So it kind of slowly got further and further away from command line commands and into code.
Like now I know.
All right, so we had a good question as Keith's getting this up to share. So James just asked. He said, "Hey, my script doesn't seem to be much Bash anymore. It increasingly got more and more C code in there, and that's okay. It really is. So the point of this class is not for me to say, hey, do everything in the world in Bash, but I do want you to be able to create Bash scripts that you can run on a machine to accomplish a task. And if that Bash script has Python in it, fine by me. If you got Perl in it, fine by me. If you're promoting Apple iPhone in it, not fine by me. You will get a 0. Just kidding.
So
if you're convincing people to go to Canada, then you fail. But
so can I forcefully install Python in every machine that runs my scripts and make it?
well, the problem is you're not going to have permission on all those machines, right? So the less permissions you ask for, the more likely you are. I think.
What are we looking for?
The less permissions you ask for, the better shape you're going to be in.
I have gone back for a couple of these and written them only in Python because it was just simpler.
And that's okay, right? The point is you're getting practice doing scripting, right? This is really what I'm after. Okay, so pod 5, let's send pod 5 to all destinations right now and take a look at it. He's going to kind of talk us through what he's got.
You want to see the code?
So I think what we should first show us the program in action. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
First.
This is what it sounded like that night that I picked up the guitar because I couldn't sleep and started. I didn't drive.
I got to delete file here. All right.
Let me see if I can run something in the background here to help us out.
Like rats.
Do I need to go bigger?
I thought he was joking. You should go check.
So no, stepping. I'm pretty sure it's that classified as I gotta go. Wonders, my boy.
I just got the definition.
This stupid. Of course, you would know the definition. Yes,
I know that.
I want to try something. Some people actually hear this and are sensitive to it. So you guys tell me.
When you started talking,
Is that what I'm hearing?
started talking about it, I was like, oh, you got a job.
Oh, I heard it.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, actually, I could tune it out after a minute, but I was just like, I wasn't prepared.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. All right, we'll stop.
2 hours? If we're doing, what are we supposed to be
It was
doing?
not 2 hours. It was not 2 hours. All right, you go.
Wait, that's hearing damage?
Most people can't hear it. Some people are sensitive to it. I was playing a sound that's way, way high up. Ultrasonic, but it'll drive critter's crazy.
All right, are we ready?
Is it still bothering you?
I'm glad I just.
I'm starting to get used to it.
I turned it off.
Okay, well then something's going on in my head that's like,
I was like, I don't hear no more.
There you go.
all right, we ready?
All right, listen up, guys. Listen up. All right,
All right,
focus.
so the actual script is expand.sh. All the iterations, like the numbers after that, were either parts of it or variations of it as I was working it out. So to run it, so it should be expand.sh, and then the file we're going to run it against, which is syslog3, because that's the file that actually has stuff in it. So syslog.3. And that's the count. That's what it has done. One of the things you can't really see is in this folder, it created, oh, no, I commented out those lines. So these two files that are created, I actually have a line in there that I need to uncomment that actually removes those temporary files after it dumps the information in it and then pulls it out. So, actually, here, we'll delete those. And if you pay attention over there, there we go. You'll see those files get created when this runs again. So, and then if we go look at the code, oh, it should have. Should have removed those.
We got black on green, guys. This is straight hacker.
Oh, that's default. That's not.
Let him look cool, DJ. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. This is.
Is that good enough?
Are you doing it?
Because he's just unzipping it.
Yeah, it just is easier when I'm flipping from Linux and Windows, and then I've got the directory up here. So,
You just got too big.
you want me to explain everything that goes into this, or do we just want to look at it in all?
Even better idea.
Okay.
Let's pick a victim. Don't make eye contact. Oh, you made eye contact, Daniel. Come on. Rule number one when I'm victim picking: don't make eye contact. All right, Daniel, why don't you run us through this? Tell us what line 15 is doing.
All right. So it looks like line 15. That's like original file is like a variable, and it's equals to that $1. So like whatever you type in there, it'll store it to the $.
Okay. Let's practice being very clear on what we're saying. So you said whatever you type in there, it'll store it to the $. So what does that mean?
So basically, like it'll hold the information, and so like that $1 will represent whatever's in there.
What is $1?
The original file.
Okay, but where do we put that? Where you said you type that in there? Where's there, and what are we typing? All the green is comments, so this is very well commented and documented.
It's the file we're searching in.
Okay, it is the file we're searching in, but how? But what specifically does that $1 mean in a bash script? You can phone a friend, or somebody can bail him out if you need. If you want.
I'll phone Corey.
All right, Corey.
The $1 is the first argument you input in the command line.
Right. Remember, you type the command you're going to use, and then you do a space, and then whatever comes after that space is your first argument, unless it's like a dash, whatever. That's options, right? So if you type in the name of this file, which we know is expand.sh, then a space, and then you type in log.log, then log.log is the name of the original file, and it will store that as orig file, that variable, in here. Man, that is incredibly annoying. That critter.
I thought you were talking about my code.
Yeah, your code's really annoying.
It's the grain that's giving me a bit of a
Sad
headache.
face.
Yes, sad face. All right, so that's good. All right, let's see.
I
Oh,
don't even know
you
if
made
mine
eye contact. Victim now.
I don't even.
What's that second line do? Line 16.
It's just creating a file to hold the DHCP requests that are being pulled out and repeated. So it's saying, hey, this says it's been repeated twice. I'm going to pull that message that's after that was in that repeated message. So it'd be like the 172. Because mine.
Yeah, remember we're going to pull out the DHCP requests. Any line that says it was repeated, we got to store that somewhere. So we're going to store it in this file. All right.
Was that?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why did you define those in the beginning?
Well, that probably goes back to my Python days.
Yeah.
And sprinkling Python with online help. It just was easy to define variables up top so you know what you're going to use them for. And then you use them later on in the code. You can call back to it.
It's more for the people that are going to come use this and read it later than it is for you. Because you can certainly do it just in time, but having all the files that you deal with, all the variables and things close together like this, those variables related to files, it's very easy because then you can go and look and see, okay, these files that are created, what are they?
I will start doing that. I've never had anybody.
You certainly don't have to do that. It just makes it really nice and concise and easy to figure out what the files are. Okay. All right. Josh, can you look on here and tell us what line 17 is doing?
Let's see. So, like you've got a variable X line file that's going to a new text file. It holds, so that holds all the expansion. So that's kind of like a temporary file that you use to go, okay, I'm parsing this stuff over here for right now, and I'll go through it in a minute. Or have it go through it and do what you need to do.
So you're storing the repeated lines in a file, and now this new file is storing the expansion of those lines, right? So if it said DJ is an idiot, message repeated 10 times, DJ is an idiot. This new file would store DJ is an idiot, DJ is an idiot, DJ is an idiot, repeated 10 times.
I've never been more tempted to just rip the ceiling off.
We could really play the critter lottery. Everybody picks a square. Like everybody puts in $5. You pick a ceiling tile. You remove your ceiling tile, and we start scaring it. Whichever one it falls out of, you get the pool.
I figure it's like the high chances of everybody getting a bunch of poop falling on them is the.
What do you think it is? A rat?
It's a squirrel.
It
It's a
sounds like either a squirrel or a flying squirrel, or
Oh, so it
Some
won't,
sort of
it won't
chipmunk.
hurt us. We're good.
huh?
Oh, have you?
It could be a rat.
I have that problem in my house.
What do you need if you get
If it falls on you, think about it. Squirrels' claws cut into oak bark, tree bark. They bite through walnuts. I mean, they're honestly an
Yeah,
apex
but-
predator.
Well, you need some.
It's certainly not a raccoon. It's moving way too fast to be a raccoon.
And raccoons are heavier.
They would push the limits of those
Easy.
ceiling
And this
tiles.
is also
I like having all that extremity.
Where they stayed, all the excrement would form
Yeah.
water stains in the tiles.
Yeah. So it's been here since yesterday that we know of. So I would guess it's a squirrel, flying squirrel, or a rat. Or it could be a mouse, but it sounds bigger than a mouse.
It's a rat. Don't do probably not like that. Big.
You don't want to grab a squirrel, trust me.
Yeah, I know a guy that lost a finger to a squirrel back in the 80s.
How were you alive? You were.
He's an old man. He's really ashamed of the fact that that's what he lost his finger to and not something like cool.
He probably blew it off dynamite fishing. He was too embarrassed to admit that because it was illegal, so he said something about squirrel.
He was noodling. Got a snapping turtle.
I ain't never seen a catfish yet.
Okay, so we have basically some files up here that we're creating. We have the original file. We've got a file to hold the repeats that we find. We've got a file to hold those expanded lines, so repeated lines. And then we have one file to rule them all, which is going to hold all of the lines that were in the original that weren't repeated, and all of the expanded lines. right? Which is exactly what we asked to do. Okay, so now we're going to get to, so these are the files, these are the variables that represent the files, and we can change the names of the files here. Why don't we just tell it to call the file? Why are we making variables for these files instead of just creating the files down later when we need them?
It was easier for me to do it this way.
It is, but what I want to point out is that if we do it this way, if you wanted to, this is how you start. You know, you have options where you can say what the like -O tells you what the output file is, or -I tells you what an input file is, and then you can tell your tool that when it reads whatever argument comes after -O is the output file, or -R would be the repeats file for here, right? Or you could also just do $1, $2, $3, and then explain to your users that your first argument is your original file, your second argument is the name of the repeats file, the third argument is the expanded file, right? So by defining these files up here at the top, you're able to use them later on and refer to them by the variable name and not have to remember the name of them every time. And if you want to change that, you don't have to go find every instance of it and replace it. So this is very handy to do, and this could easily be modified so that all of these could be specified on the command line. All right, so we start getting into it. Sean, can you tell us what line 25 is doing?
Well, it's Z grepping, so it's that's for zip files,
Mhm.
and it's going to be the negative or -I. That's ignoring case, right?
Right, yeah.
So that's doing that, and then it's going to be grepping the DHCP request from that file, from the original Money Center original file, and then we pipe it to grepping not a zip file, and we're going to be grepping repeated from that now, and then we're piping to sed, which is just like a text. Is it just like a format editor?
So yeah, you can use text sed to transform text in certain ways.
Okay, yeah. So we're taking out the spaces. I think, yeah, replace double space with single space with sed there, and then we're gonna pipe to cat, which is displaying the rep file.
So I used cat because I was having issues with other ones, and this one seemed pretty easy.
That's fine. So would it be possible to remove the cat and just have the arrows to the rep file?
Not sure. We can try. This was
Yeah, it's okay. Like that, we're all learning here. And to be honest with you, you know, I am not the world's greatest Bash scripter, and so, you know, there's a difference between.
So you're talking about that right there?
Yeah. So we already have the output. So the cat's not really doing much to that output. So you could just kind of consolidate that a little bit. And like I said, I'll be honest with you, I am not the world's best
Yeah, no worries.
developer. And there's a difference between someone who's making proof of concept code and somebody who's making production code. Production code, you worry about things like optimization and how fast it does it. Like you would probably, if you were going to be processing 10,000 files from 10,000 machines on a corporate network, you probably would not be wanting to write new files out. We're going to find a different way to handle this. But right now, this is a great step for us, and it allowed you guys to learn kind of I/O and creating files and reading from files. And that's a very powerful thing to be able to do. Okay. So we don't have to go through everything else that you
Actually,
did.
could have done that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, right. So that'll like each consecutive time you run it, it's going to overwrite it for rep file, right?
Yeah.
The one that it's important to do the append to is that expanded file at the end, right? Because you're going to put more than one thing in there, yeah.
Start getting into that.
Right? So, was this a difficult assignment? Yes, it was.
I still don't even know if mine works, DJ.
Okay, that's fine. So,
I don't know how to check for.
So I was a little frustrated because I only got to test it. I could only find, I think, 1 or 2 files that had like 1 or 2 message repeated.
Mhm.
So it was hard to compare it to, I think the file you were using, I had a few different ones that were repeated, 1 or 2.
I couldn't find any repeated messages on my system.
Yeah, it was syslog 3 that I found them in.
I don't have. It's not what I'm
And-
using column.
I run zgrep in case I'm running it against a zipped file, but it also runs against a non-zip file. So I tested it with both.
A good way to test that, if you just can't remember which one, just copy and paste exactly what he had for the example, because all you're looking for is the repeated statement. And just write exactly what he did, maybe some garbage on the other side out, just to make sure it doesn't print that, and then parse that out and see if it can figure
Well,
that
the
out.
problem with that is when you get down into cutting these fields so that you can piece that back together, because if you don't have the spacing right, then you're gonna get something wonky, which I actually ran into a problem because I had it and it was working, and then it wasn't, something changed, and this field value was different. I think I originally had it at 10 and I was running it, so it was.
So one thing you can do is if you only have a couple of lines, you could still take those lines and repeat them and just copy them in a file and then
Yeah.
modify the number of times that it's repeated, right? You can make
I
your own
did do
test.
that.
Yeah, that's good. Making your own test files, right? And has anybody ever heard of overfitting something to the data? Overfitting something to the data is when you create a solution that works for the limited data that you have, but once you expand it, it's not going to work, right? So let's say that I make a plan for I make a recipe that will feed any family, and I have seen 4 families in my data set. One was just a recently married couple, so it's just a husband and wife. The next one was a couple that had 1 kid. The next one was a grandma and grandpa that had adopted one of their grandkids. And then the 4th family was a family that had 3 children. So I have this recipe that said it will feed any family. I've seen 4 families. The most kids I've ever seen is 3 kids. Is that recipe going to work for every family in the world? Nope, not unless they all want to have like one tiny little bite. Because the biggest family that I've seen in modern day is I had a companion when I was on one of my missions who was one of 8 kids. And while he was out serving on his mission, his parents adopted a family of 8. So they had 16 kids in their family. Your little recipe for 2 parents and 3 kids is definitely not going to feed them, right? So when I say overfitting data, sometimes, especially when people are new, they will not have any idea about the vast amounts of differences there could be in the data that they're receiving. So you write a program like this to process these files, and it's like, well, I can handle anything that you throw at me. But what if it has 12 different things that each got repeated 15,000 times? Don't know, right? So you end up having to test the limits of it. But for right now, I'm happy with you guys just, so the reason I say that is creating your own data sets to try different scenarios and different input is a really, really good thing to do. I'm happy with you guys just doing your best effort to make something that works. And what I'm not going to do is grab this and then throw it against a whole bunch of files you've never seen before and then get mad at you if something doesn't work, right? Because it's entirely possible that with different input from a different system, there may be things in there that you haven't accounted for, and that's okay. But once you come across something that this doesn't work for, then you expand your code and you make it a little bit more robust so that it can handle this input. Handling unexpected input is a skill that you definitely need to learn when you're doing programming. I'm not too super worried about it right now for this assignment. All right. Yeah, that is very annoying. Especially since this started at 2:40 yesterday. Well, about 2 o'clock yesterday when I came in, I started hearing it. So I told them to call the pest control. Apparently they did. And there's a guy in my.
Squirrels are hard to get rid of.
Well, I mean, they could come out here and try it. They could put a live trap in there.
We have like federally protected squirrels and chipmunks here in the state of Alabama, so they have to get somebody with a proper license to come out and touch them.
I'll come out and touch that thing.
I wouldn't say you just come out and touch the squirrel, did you?
It's only a war crime the first time, baby.
I was like, hey, I come from the backwoods of Kentucky. You want that critter taken care of, you just let me know.
Did you need to convince his face also listed the crap that
Bro probably worked jumping too much. It was like, I never saw the rat.
If you don't know what's wrong, it's not wrong. Okay. All right, so we have now, we've got an example. We have somebody that has a fairly good working solution. So my question, can you hear that now?
No, it's fine, it's fine.
I've been hearing that the whole time.
Who did that?
I've been hearing that sound for like a while.
Are you talking about like the frequency? Yeah.
Some people cannot hear it.
Walls.
It's like coming in waves. It's really weird.
It's like one of those like high pitched like.
I think it's hilarious. And some people just cannot hear it and not affected by it at all. And some people it just can hear it. So
Wait, was that it?
what's what it?
Whatever you were playing, was that it? Like the screeching sound?
Yeah, that really, really
What's
high pitch.
screeching sound?
I hear that constantly.
But
It's okay.
it's so.
I can tell some of y'all didn't do.
He's yeah, he had some of those defective army earplug things, so he hears that sound.
I can hear it. I can hear it. I didn't know there was any.
Did they give out earplugs?
Okay.
Okay, so question is, where do we go from here, right? So raise your hand if you're fully satisfied with the solution that you came up with to expand the repeats.
I would like to clean it up a little bit, but I think.
But I mean, you think it gets the job done, it creates a file that you can process, and you're fairly confident in the results you're going to get if you process that file.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm confident.
Raise your hands high, let's see it. That's not a lot.
I'm
Okay.
confident.
So what I planned to do today was get you guys started with the next step, but I want everybody to be comfortable with where we are before we move on. Would it be helpful if I gave you guys a couple of days? We'll give you guys till Thursday and give you a little extension on this assignment. So those of you who have it done, you're rewarded by not having any homework for Thursday. Those of you who don't have it done, you get a little bit more time to kind of work on this. All right? I won't be extending it past Thursday because we've got to get moving on. I want to get past processing these log files and start looking at doing Linux security configurations. So we actually might switch over to looking at Ubuntu. And just for a little while with the bash scripting portion, because Ubuntu has more things. Yeah. So Ubuntu has a few more things that we can look at. So I want to, for instance, take a look and do a check to see can you log in with SSH using the root user, and if the answer is yes, we want to report that. And then eventually we want to go in and we want to change that in the log. So we want to make a tool that will first go in and detect some of these things. And then we want to make and then we want to modify the tool so they can ask the user whether or not it wants to change that. And if the user says yes, they could go in and actually change that in the config file. Okay? So I hope you can see how useful that would be if we can do basically some security auditing with it and we can help people make changes to their system to make it more secure, right? So I think what we'll do today then is I'll go ahead and end the recording. So those of you, oh yeah, and if you've already got this done and you're like, what a ripoff, well, guess what? Then you have more time to work on some test out and get caught up there, all right? Next Tuesday, the 3rd of October, there's an opportunity to get quite a bit of extra credit. It is no, hold on. Active Countermeasures has a Cyber Threat Hunter level 1 training that you guys can do. Unfortunately, I don't get to pick when they do it, and it happens to be the day I'm flying back into town. So I will not be here for that. It's a 6-hour training. So
It's the same one we did last year.
it's the same one that you did last year. It's a great refresher. And I also need at least one person that did it before that might be able to come in here and assist people in getting the VMs running. Will you be here? Yeah. So normally I say you can only get credit for doing it one time. But in this instance, if we have some folks that want to do the refresher, or we have some folks that want to come in and assist people, since I'm not going to be here, I'm happy to give extra credit for that. So if you've had it before and you want to come in and assist people, you can get up to 1,000 extra credit points, which is 10% of your grade, right? For any of my classes, yeah. If you haven't taken it before and you want to take it the first time, be a participant, you can get 750 points of extra credit. And it's not just for any of my classes. As a loyalty bonus, it will apply to all of my classes. So if you have me for multiple classes, then it will count for that.
Do we get that as a Discord event?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure, we can add that.
What
Okay.
do you know if it's like before 3 or?
They usually run it from like 10 to 4.
GG.
I guess I can try that down.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be at work.
So some people talk to work, and work is happy to let them do that as part of work.
Okay.
Right? It's a cyber threat hunter training. Sometimes they'll let you do that. Sometimes they won't. But you can try it. So we'll push that out on Discord, and we'll see if the club wants to do that.
Wait that way.
Okay. So what I think I'll do now is I'll officially end class. I'm going to stop the recording. If you are done with it and you'd rather be getting out of here and you don't have to stay for another class, you can.